Hey guys, Garrett197 again. This time the review of the 1/100 scale Gun Blastor from the Victory Gundam series. And for colors we're getting some quite gym-like colors. We have a kind of greenish, very light mint green for almost the entire mobile suit. And we have a red cockpit. And like I said, very gym colored-ish. And then we also have some dark navy blue for the body here. Those, well, storage units next to his head. And of course we also have gray for the backpack, some of the joints, the hands and the accessories. And then a little bit yellow to top it off on the chest fence, and then these little extra thrusters on the backpack. And of course the chin here, or his little beard, is also molded in red. So no more chin stickers. Thank God for that. Then for stickers we only get a few of them. We get the eye cameras, of course. We have the front camera here. Nothing unfortunately for the back camera. Could have used one. And then we have two black ones for the chest fence. So it's really good. That's pretty much all we need. It would have been nice if we got a scope for the beam rifle, but hey, what we get is plenty. So color-wise, even though it's an old kit, it's pretty much exactly spot on. They really couldn't have done a much better job. Then going on to articulation, which is unfortunately a little bit less good. The head only goes up and down extremely little. The 144 scale actually did a lot better there. Sideways goes about that far, though you could move it around all the way if you want to force his red beard a little bit, but normally it only goes about that far. And the arms rotate around all the way, go up about that far, will turn around above the elbow, and then have a bend that's not quite 90 degrees. Once again, as with the head, the 144 scale actually had better movement there. Hands are on ball joints, will wiggle around, turn around, and do everything a ball joint does. Then we have these early 90s hands, the usual. Thumb doesn't move, lower three fingers are molded together or on hinges, and then the trigger finger is separate. And they do feel particularly loose already, though as you will see, it's for some reason not that much of a deal actually. Probably because, well, it's not really a big gun that we're getting. Thank God for that. Then onto the backpack. These giant thruster pieces are on ball joints, and they will go up and down, wiggle a little bit, go in and out a little bit, and once again do everything a ball joint does. So you have some nice movement. Then the waist goes sideways a little bit. Front skirts are molded separately, go up nicely like so, and give the legs a fair range of movement. Backwards not quite as much because of the big back skid. Go out nicely like so. On bundle, so will also turn around a little bit. And then the knees only on one joint, and the biggest irony is that actually they could have easily given us a double joint, because it connects, the bottom actually connects to a polycap, but for some reason they decided to not make the polycap movable, and they gave it, the polycap has a rectangular connection rather than a round connection. So if it had a round connection, we could have actually gotten a double joint, especially considering the placement. Well, maybe something to look into if you like modifying it. But as it stands, we're getting not quite 90 degrees. Once again, 144 scale did that better. Then foot guard goes up and down. Feet are on a single ball joint, go forwards about that far, backwards a little bit, and side to side, and we'll also rotate around a little bit. And once again, I'm going to have to say it, the feet of the 144 scale were more articulate. Ironically enough. Then let's get on to the accessories. For starters, we of course get the beam rifle, which I've already shown a number of times. And even though the fingers are quite loose, like I said, it actually goes in the hand rather well. My guess is that the thumb does do a good job of supporting it, but still it might be a problem later on, because as you can see I just nudge it and it's already kind of going out. But yeah, out of the box, it stays rather well, though I wouldn't recommend playing around with it too much, especially when we look at the later Gundam wing hands. Well, those are supposed to be more modern ones, and they had significant problems holding their weapons. But say that you don't want to use this, and you want to spare the hands. Out this goes. We have a little gap here. And you can store the beam rifle there, or you can remove this plate to reveal yet another storage device. Though it doesn't really... There we go. Looks a bit more funny, but hey, now you have something kind of like the Freedom or the VSBR. And yeah, let's just pretend that that's fire linked and you can actually shoot it from the hip. Or if you want to go really crazy, the arms, out you come. Have holes too, and believe it or not, they will actually fit in there. So if you want to give this guy a few more guns, well, believe me, there are plenty of spaces on this mobile suit where you can mount extra weaponry. And that is actually one of the features of this model kit, because when you look at the manual, let's quickly grab it. If you have some spare F91 kits, you can actually use those weapons on them. Though I will give a warning for these bazookas. The funny thing is they have two pegs, and this is the one that you'll have to use to put it on the side skirt. But as you can see, they don't really like to stay on that well, and there it goes. The bigger one is actually much better, but then he won't be able to hold on to it. So if you want to store this anywhere, you're gonna have to use the big peg unless you want it there. The good news is if you put it in the hand first and then you attach it, then it will stay on, because the hand is plenty capable of holding it, even though it wasn't actually made for this model kit. So if you want to give him a few more accessories, well, the F90, F91, Solid Formula F91 kits are probably the way to go. But now let's continue with the accessories that it actually comes with, which is, if I can grab onto it, come on, there we go, the beam shield. Absolutely gorgeous, really nicely detailed. It's really fantastic, probably one of the best pieces on this entire model kit. And then just grab the generator, and it actually looks pretty good even without the beam shield in it. If you want to use a beam shield, simply pop it open, clip it in, and on this goes. And this will actually go into both of the arms. So if you have two Gun Blasters, then you can actually give him two of those beam shields. And there we go. Then finally we also get not one, but two very nice clear beams. The one thing that's a bit of a bummer is that there are a lot of air bubbles inside, which kind of kill the niceness of these beam sabers. It's a bit unfortunate, but yeah, I guess we're just gonna have to live with it, I suppose. But yeah, and there you can see the weakness of the hands. The beam saber, the beam rifle, no problem at all. However, unless you want to stab someone. Actually, that's a pose not a lot of mobile suits can pull off easily. Okay, we'll just keep it as the consensus that it can hold the beam sabers quite well if you're gonna go for a lunge at someone. Yeah, let's just keep it at that. Then the final pieces you get with this kit will actually allow you to turn the Gun Blaster into the Gunnies. Though that's actually a lot easier than it sounds. You simply remove the extra backpack and then you get 2 of these extra thrusters for the back. And when you put them both on, well, there you have the Gunnies, which is actually pretty easy to make out of a Gun Blaster. You essentially attach this, well, striker pack to it. Well, you remove the striker pack to turn the Gun Blaster into the Gunnies. And of course we also get a few extra pods because it reuses the clear, there we go, it reuses the clear runner from the other 1/100 scale Victory Gundam kit. So we also get an extra pair of eyes, which is actually kind of surprising because they give you a separate piece for the eyes. I would have expected them to simply use this piece for the eyes, but I guess they decided to give us an extra thing because it would fit the head better. And then we also get a cockpit that is used in the core fighters of the Victory Gundam. So that's all for accessories, and unfortunately, well, we could have done with a few more accessories, like for example, include a beam bazooka with the kit, or give us the little beam spray gun. So we could have done a little bit better. As always, the inevitable question is, do you want to buy this? And well, for 1,000 yen, this is definitely a nice 1/100 scale. And 1,000 yen actually puts us in the price range of the likes of the Hardy Gun. And I think that when you put them next to each other, you can really see how technology with the Gun Blaster is improving. When we look at the Hardy Gun, we only have the main colors which are molded. And all the littler details like the cockpit here even, the crotch piece, the chin, they're all just stickers. The Gun Blaster, however, almost everything is molded in the right colors. The cockpit, chest fans, and even the little chin piece. So Gun Blaster is definitely nicer in terms of molding and all that sort of stuff. The one thing where the Gun Blaster does fall a little bit short, however, well, when compared to the Hardy Gun perhaps, is accessories. We don't get exactly everything we'd expect. From a Gun Blaster kit, I would expect at the very least an extra bazooka. If nothing else, this was really a minimum. It's kind of like the RX-78-2. You expect a beam rifle, 2 beam sabers, and a bazooka. That's, well, of course, a shield. That's pretty much the minimum accessories you would expect. And that brings us to another question. 1/100 scale or 1/144 scale? Because believe it or not, unlike most of the 1/100 scales, here the 1/100 scale does not reign supreme in every aspect, because there are actually there are enough arguments for the 1/144 scale to buy that one rather than the 1/100 scale. And let's quickly go over the advantages of the 1/100 scale. The one main advantage is immediately the color molding. Here we have stickers for the cockpit, the vents, we have a sticker for the chin, which I haven't applied because it just plainly sucks. On the Hardy Gun, this here is yellow. Also gotta say, the pink is a little bit more vibrant on the 100 scale, so kind of depends on if you prefer the more subdued color or if you like more vibrant pink. That is one main advantage. Then the second advantage of this is if you have the F90 kits, you can mix and match some parts. The one I immediately think of is the F90 ADS type, and all of those are different types. The Assault type, the Destroy type, then the S type, can't immediately put my finger on which one that was, but that means that you get 3, well, to put it in terms everyone will understand, striker pack-like things. So let's say you equip your F90 with the destroyed one, then you can use the assault pieces on this one here as shown in the manual. So if you're willing to buy a few other kits, well, then you're going to get a hell of a lot more enjoyment out of your 1/100 scale Gun Blaster. Then let's get on with the advantages of the 1/144 scale. First, one that is a little bit subjective is I think that the mold, well, the overall look of the 1/144 scale is better than the 1/100 scale. Especially the legs, they feel a little bit, well, slimmer on the 1/144 scale. A little bit more streamlined. Maybe that's me, but, well, just look at them next to each other and decide for yourself which one you think is better. Also, one thing I quickly got to point out, the weapons that come with the Gun Blaster, the 1/144 scale, are molded in blue, in dark blue, like here. So they're not great, but they still look pretty damn nice. Then, advantages, absolute advantages of the 1/144 scale. One, accessories, undeniable. We get a beam rifle, we get a beam bazooka. Not these, well, actually we get these in blue. Then we get the beam spray gun. We also get 2 beam sabers, just like him. Yeah, we still get the beam shield, and most importantly of all is we get a display base, and we get one of those backdrops, and that is definitely well worth. And that's why it's really well worth getting the 1/144 scale, because the stand gives us so much more play value. Also makes for a lot more intricate poses. Which brings me to the third advantage of the 1/144 scale, articulation. It's not better by a lot, but it's still better. I mean, we get better elbow movement, better knee movement, and better feet movement. That's pretty much most of the main joints that are quite better on the 1/144 scale. So just think to yourself, which is more important? And that's what's going to decide which one you should buy, because actually in price they're not that much different. This is 700 yen, also because you get an extra torso for the Gun E, so both of them can make the Gun E's. It would be kind of pointless to buy the Gun E's, well, to buy this one to get the Gun E's, because it's actually available as a separate kit in 1/144 scale. But putting that aside, so yeah, when we look at everything, they're both actually pretty evenly matched. The only reason to say buy the 1/100 scale is, for example, if you really hate stickers and you want to look good out of the box, then the 1/100 scale is going to be your choice. If you really like having a lot of accessories, then the 1/144 scale is going to be your choice. And don't forget about the 1/144 scale weapon set that is out for the Gun Blaster. So, well, if you like giving him some extra weapons and stickering up a little bit, then if you're willing to shell out an extra 500 yen, then the 1/144 scale might be a lot better for you. So I think that they kind of should have continued with the trend of the 1/144 scales, given us a stand. Okay, the backdrop I can excuse, that's not really something they should have included, but at least give us a stand, give us the bazooka. It just feels like they have a really nice kit here. It's genuinely a really good kit, but they forgot to give us enough accessories. Because, well, the beam rifle's nice, the beam sabers are nice, but why not the bazooka? Come on, really should have been included. But for 1,000 yen, well, why not make it 1,200 yen and give us the bazooka? How about that? Well, that's all for this review, and that's not all, because size comparisons. When we put it next to a 1/144 scale, we see that he's not exactly the biggest mobile suit around. Especially not when we compare him to the Zaku 3, which is almost the same size. And finally, here is next to the Silhouette Gundam and the Heavy Gun. And you can see that mobile suits are getting progressively shorter. Gun Blaster might just be one of the smallest 1/100 scales. Well, actual mobile suits if we're excluding the gun tank R44, of course. And, well, gotta say, Gun Blaster is better than the Heavy Gun as both a mobile suit and a model kit. That's all for this review, and see you guys next time.